So she might be dead now, so...
Wow.
Well, spoiler review.
Pretty Kitty is dead. That's a spoiler.
Shut up, guys.
Me, man.
Shut up. We've already gotten past the YouTube terms and, like... Whoops. Yeah. The one person that said they were going to keep it clean, huh?
Look, I'll still
fuck it. We're in the loop now.
I'll keep it clean. You guys can keep doing whatever you guys do.
Yeah, we're in the hood now.
Here we go, George Carlin. 7 words you can't say on TV.
I'm putting in my work personality. I work around too many kids, so I get used to this.
It was all this.
My brain's just failing to all the alcohol.
Yeah, but how often do you drink on the job?
Not often.
Not often, but not zero.
Okay, I shouldn't say that. I'll probably get fired immediately.
All right.
I never do.
Welcome back to the Popcorn Talk podcast, where we talk about media and all of the variations of such. My name is Dr. Squiggles, Deshae Reno. This is Bad Guy Kyle, and this is the handsome kid Jubilee.
Hi.
How you guys doing tonight?
Boozed up. That's how I'm doing.
Yeah, got a few
Sad
with the boys.
Sad that I never got my Dairy Queen. That's for sure. She was,
I think all of us are kind of tickled on that.
Yeah.
she was too busy. She had to deal with 50 other customers in the drive-thru.
Yeah, I feel bad for those fucking kids at the drive-thru that were just working their asses off. Holy shit.
Yeah. Oh, did I ever tell you that? There was one day I went to Arby's. Could never actually get an order in. It would have been faster if we went to the drive-thru. Because literally, walked inside because I was like, oh, drive-thru's full. Maybe if I go inside, it would be faster. Never could. They never got to a single person waiting inside.
Really?
I was there to place my order. Everyone else who was waiting behind me, it's because they already had the orders placed. And they were too busy getting to the drive-thru.
God damn.
So I never could even get my order in. I was like, I guess I'm gone.
I believe it. Arby's is usually like that a lot of the time.
It's like I wasn't even mad at them. It's just like, crap, that's a busy day.
It's either they're waiting for that or they're waiting for Kyle to place his order.
No,
I guess when I go in, I guess I'm just lucky because I never have a wait time at Arby's.
It was the only time. I only had it once because every other time, pretty much normal, empty-ish.
Everyone else.
But only the one. It was just that one day. It was just packed to the brim. It was again like that Dairy Queen that just happened today. Yeah. It was just like
it's completely wrapped around, like almost coiling around itself.
Yeah, it was looking like a snake.
Yeah, it's looking like Coily from Cubert.
It was looking like Snake from Snake.
Snake from Snake. With an E.
So before we get into it, I got a question for you, gentlemen.
Charles.
This is a question for anyone out there listening. Please leave it in the comments or text one of us.
Please.
Text me at 55555.
Would you rather give up oral sex or cheese?
Cheese.
Really? That's fair. I like cheese.
Look, I'll expose myself live on this podcast. The first I've ever gotten in sexual relationships is a blowjob, so I'll give up more cheese for more blowjobs.
And it wasn't even worth it.
It wasn't, actually. It wasn't good. She put the blow in blowjob. That's not what you're supposed to do.
Ree's got nothing but slob jobs?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Was she trying to make you a little balloon animal or something like that?
Kind of.
A French poodle. Sorry, can't the poodle had rabies and put him down.
That's a giraffe.
Because you
Get out of here,
like,
son. You're bothering me.
So you have like two aspects of that. You have either the fucking balloon animals, or you have like Dyson vacuum on your hands.
Yeah, I did not get the Dyson vacuum.
Or you got that drunk girl who's just nothing but slobber. Like,
You get the rare one, which
You have the rare grapefruit.
that too. Let's say the rare sloppy toppy.
This can fucking
Mr. Slappy Pappy.
Slappy Pappy.
Just like cousin father.
There's a lot of shit that happened over this last week.
That'll be for the next video.
Oh yeah, Slappy Pappy. Yeah, we'll make some Slappy Pappies and we'll film this.
Huh?
Look where that's going.
Are we talking about the different things?
I think so.
Oh really? I was just talking about Sloppy Joes and funny names how to say that.
I was talking about never mind.
Okay.
I was talking about basement. Oh, never mind.
Kevin Bacon.
So, as you can tell by the weird, creepy Mortal Kombat looking figure that we have in the back, we are here to now review M3gan. And to be honest, to firmly get it out of the way, I mean, last year in January, we also had the Scream movie, which was actually very well done. Don't mind that noise. The plants are just pissing.
That's me.
But
both of us. Hey, twinsies. Yeah.
I never get wet. You guys are always way ahead of me, and I'm older.
Well, take a look at this pen.
Fuck off. But I believe that we are finally starting to break the January curse of absolutely shit horror movies.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's really hard to say. We're only like 2 weeks in to January.
Well, I mean, when you start strong with something like M3gan, and M3gan got an overly produced production line, and usually when you do that, your movie's going to blow.
Mm-hmm.
But you're by Blumhouse, and most of the movies blow.
I mean, think about a lot of the...
Blumhouse is like... 2 are bad, 1 is good, 1 is bad, 1 is good, 2 are bad, 3 is well.
Because I forget, we're on...
Blumhouse was produced 10 films, 3 out of 7 would be... Yeah, 3 out of the 10 would be good. The rest of the 7 would be, like, mid to...
Kind of like how The Conjuring 2 sort of, like, panned out a little bit, where it wasn't, like, great, but it wasn't bad either.
Yeah, but
that was also an October release, right?
Yeah, but if you look at the actual Conjuring movies in and of themselves... Conjuring movies are alright, but the Conjuring universe that it made is absolute dog shit.
Like The Nun and everything?
The Nun movies, The Curse of La Llorona was absolutely awful.
Would you say the same thing with Annabelle? I've never got down that hall.
I fucking hated Annabelle.
I like Annabelle Creation.
When you hype up Annabelle, and it's good to bring this in because the movie's about a doll.
Yeah.
Sure. When you bring in Annabelle, I remember walking into Annabelle with my ex-girlfriend, and we were so excited because we thought it was going to be another Chucky movie. That's how the movie was hyped. And I'm like, cool, we finally got our female version of Chucky that's all on her own, and it's not Tiffany.
It's based off of, like, somewhat true events.
Kinda.
Somewhat. I said somewhat.
0.5% true events.
Yeah, literally, right?
We walked into the movie, and I got all sorts of upset and pissed off, because hour and a half in this movie that's an hour 45, and the doll doesn't wink, blink, wave, burp, fart, get wet, nothing. All you do is see the doll get risen up by... this demon that looks exactly like the one from Insidious. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck is this, dude? I mean, I already got Darth Maul on meth and Insidious, and now this.
It's the lipstick demon's like NC-17 cousin. Because he's just like, if you look at him, he's ripped to shit.
Built like a porno brick shit house.
He is. He's built like Johnny Sins on a good day.
Johnny Sins.
Kind of look like him too.
Kind of, but
he's got the horns and everything. He's just like,
I mean,
looks like Nightcrawler a little bit.
But then again, once you got to the second movie, Annabelle Creation, that one actually stepped its game up and made a lot more sense and made it worth a shit. But if you're going to have a doll movie and you're going to hype it up with the importance of killer dolls and what Chucky has made a staple of, or even, I don't remember her name. What was her name? Molly Shaw,
Mary Shaw.
Mary Shaw.
That was in.
That was a Dead Silence.
Yeah, Dead Silence.
I mean, those puppets didn't move either, but they were an important role because you also had Slappy and Goosebumps too. You had old Pinocchio once. You had the doll in that Anthony Hopkins movie.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think it's called Magic.
Yeah. Wasn't that based off like a 1930s movie as well?
Something.
Where it was like the doll was essentially overcoming his own personality, kind of like Scarface in Batman the Animated Series.
Yes, but
and you didn't know who was the actually in control, if like the puppet was actually alive or if it was the guy doing it and he was just going crazy.
But yeah, see, all of that, you know, the doll has personality. You know, the doll or dummy or puppet, whatever, has its own merit and gears and its own drive, as opposed to Annabelle just being a fucking decoration.
Yeah.
I hated Annabelle. In case you can't tell by now.
I've never seen any of the movies.
Don't waste your money. Don't waste your money. Don't do it.
Creation.
I'm not gonna waste money.
I will give
time.
I'll give it this. Creation honestly was a genuinely like decent story.
Like, yeah, if you skip the first one and just watch Creation, it's all right.
It's the like basically the prequel to the movie, and honestly, I would watch that any day.
Would you say that like the same thing with like Friday the 13th? Go straight to part 3. You don't need part 2 or part 1.
Well, you kind of need the context, but that story's been told so many times that you already know it.
I'm just saying, if part 1 has nothing to do with Jason, part 2 is Stumblebutt Jason, as me and my brother always up to.
Part 1's a good introduction into horror.
Part 3 is when he gets the infamous Jason look, which is also more heavily into the super slasher.
Yes, but you also kind of need part 2 because part 2 issues that Jason's not an idiot. Jason is a person well-rounded in his surroundings because he had the hidden cottages in the woods. He was able to keep himself up.
See, but that's where I also call him Stumblebutt Jason. He was also the same guy to stand on a chair and also had the chair fucking fall apart on him right underneath.
That's fair.
And then he got kicked in the nuts and he went, oh!
But I will give it this. Like, Jason Part 2 is basically what
also,
Jason...
I broke my rule.
What?
I broke my rule.
Oh, about...
Yeah, keep it clean, buddy.
I'm sorry.
Well, this PG-13 just went to rated R real quick.
Well, hey, PG-13 is parental guidance suggested, so...
Okay, well...
Kids, you know what you're getting in for.
Yes, but PG-13's only allowed one fuck.
Okay.
You alone have broken that one.
Okay, well, let me rephrase my Friday the 13th quote then, what I just said. Jason was a dork, alright? He was a big dork. He fell off chairs and got kicked in the nuts.
That's offensive to whales.
Well, who cares about whales? They're always landing on beaches, not my fault.
They're always getting exploded by people who don't know how to move them.
With TNT.
Yeah. But, like, I'd have to go into a different fucking tangent for that story, but that was funny, because they used way too much.
I know, yeah.
So funny.
I figured you listened to the same one when we said exploding
it's
whales.
horrible.
Yeah. That was a dumb idea. In California, nonetheless.
Yeah. By a actual, like, explosives expert, but then the explosive expert came out and said, yeah, that was way too much.
You don't say.
It's like, really? Captain Hindsight over here, yeah. It's a round of applause.
You only used enough to make another Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
But I mean, with that being said, though, with the latest amount of killer dolls or bad dolls or slasher dolls coming out, I think M3gan actually really fucking swooped up a gun.
I really liked it, and here, this is another topic to go into as far as like the movie's concerned, but not exactly going into spoiler territory. What happened?
He's got a hole in his ass.
You got a giant rip on my pajama pants.
Shoot!
Well, these are really...
That's NC-17.
Don't worry, it's not video. All they got is this creepypasta image of Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
It honestly is like a creepypasta image almost.
It looks like the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, or like the release of the new Five Nights at Freddy's game.
You know what this is? This movie kind of feels like a modern day creepypasta tale, like brought to the big screen with a big budget.
I don't see that at all, but
with like a lot of...
we all got different viewpoints.
Because there's a lot of different stories online about like... I think there is one about like an artificial intelligence that's like basically... brought in as a young kid's like best friend.
Yeah, it's called Alexa.
Alexa playing Skyrim.
Back to my question. Sorry.
Eat the cheese wheel.
Where are you with this movie's genre? Because it doesn't feel like a horror movie to me. It feels more like a thriller, like sci-fi thriller almost.
I mean,
kind of like how iRobot was set up.
I wouldn't call it sci-fi because let's face it, we're already there.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call
Fair. Okay.
Right, it's modern.
But are we sci-fi?
It's like slight future sci-fi, right? Because we're
not necessarily cyberpunk, but like
nothing cyberpunk.
But developing like new technology.
It's literally like you can see this technology existing within.
I can see this happening pretty soon.
Within like 5 years, you can see it happening.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
That's what I was making the joke.
The iPhone was like impressive when it came out.
That's what I was making the joke. Like in the year 2077, all girls play with the robots.
Fair. Yeah. I'm actually curious about when this movie is supposed to be taking place because I don't think we get a year.
No. They leave it vague on purpose.
Yeah.
It was originally...
They leave it timeless. That's what's really nice about it.
All you gotta know is that iPhones and touchscreens still exist.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta remember, this movie was taken on around the same time as the Child's Play remake.
Okay.
And they wanted to try and make things different as they could. And given the time frame of the Child's Play remake was in 2019, yet filming for this didn't start until 2021 in like May.
So way after COVID.
So
way after.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of waited for production to start on this one, but you also have to think for what they gave out with only a $12 million budget. That's very fucking low.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially for some of the things they did in this movie and some people they pulled in.
Only 12 million?
Yeah, seriously.
One of those movies was cheap.
Honestly, some of the effects in this movie were pretty good. Like, for what you get, it's decent for the amount of money that you just said. Like, they know how to play with the... Would it be the unknown? Like, you can fill in the blanks with what happened. That's why I'm waiting for an unrated cut. That would be really nice to see some of these... like more bloody kills because there's like one or two that I can see being really gruesome, especially with. Should we get into spoiler territory?
Well, we already said spoiler review.
Okay, so spoiler review, yeah. When the neighbor gets sprayed with the chemicals. Oh, so that's supposed to be like that's supposed to be an acid wash, right?
It's supposed to be acid.
Okay, I would be curious to see what happened there, honestly. Because that would be an interesting.
You saw the blood in the water going.
Yeah, you see the blood in the water, but just like, is her face melting off, or is it just like a hole going into her head, or something like that?
Well, because
it's just the lady smiling.
It's also a power washer.
It's just the lady smiling. That's the uncut version.
You also didn't see. You also didn't see blood come out of her hand when she was shot with a nail gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. There wasn't a blood.
There was very little blood in this movie.
Well, because it's PG-13.
There was blood. It was all off-screen deaths.
It was off-screen deaths as well. Except for, oddly enough, the owner of the company. He was like on screen, but you don't see it.
Off screen still ish because you don't even see.
She's off screen, but he's on screen. But you see him like, oh,
you don't
he does the death thing.
but you don't even see the blade go through his stomach in that whole shot.
That's very
it's also
true.
still technically off screen.
So technically, Megan couldn't, realistically didn't have to kill anyone.
Anything violent is off screen.
Yeah,
But then all the blood is on the blade.
take
in
your
that
kids to
shot.
go see Megan. It's a great family movie.
Don't, because then you get the theater experience we got with everyone fucking talking.
Oh my god. So this isn't against the movie. The movie's great. This is about our theater that we were at. I swear I was next to fucking Bud and Lou from fucking Batman the Animated Series, the goddamn hyenas that Harley Quinn walks around all the time. Fucking yip 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 yip.
Sounds more like Shy Guys and Thwomps from Mario.
Yeah.
Well, they were on their phones talking the whole time, dude.
Mario, the manager's coming up. You need to be quiet, Mario. Mamma mia! And that was a theater experience.
Yeah.
Damn near, because you had people laughing in the back, you had people laughing in the middle, you had the retards over to us on the left, bouncing up and down, running up and down the hallways on their fucking phones, turning on the flashlights and shit.
Acting like fucking the teenage girls over in fucking high school that would just eat hot Cheetos for breakfast.
Yeah.
Like I
Annoying
said,
ones.
this was the same movie experience I had with It Part 2 when it came out.
That's unfortunate, yeah.
I mean,
Although I don't like It Part 2 in general. I thought it was weaker than Part 1, which is about par for every It movie.
I liked part 2, but I think, yeah, I agree with you. Part 1 did it better.
Exactly. It's about par for every It movie. Part 2 is just not that good.
Yeah.
It's not terrible, it's just not as
because
good.
no one gives a shit if adults die.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I don't
I like
know.
the actors they got. I thought
It feels like it's not as, like, scary or, like, terrifying. It's just, like... It's about, like, on par with the first movie. Like, nothing gets, like, more amped up. Like, nothing's, like, more freaky.
Because I mean the whole
Because the whole
Sorry.
thing is, like... I get it, there's phobias, but also at the same time, when you're an adult, you get desensitized to a lot more things. It's not more crazier. It's, like, the same stuff. It's, like... I guess.
And I think that's the point of the movie, is that it's supposed to be basically overcoming trauma, especially childhood trauma.
Well, it took them 35 years to do that, so...
Yeah, fair. Yeah, it did. And it fucked him up for life. And now we have James McAvoy as a director that's probably, like, worse now than he was before.
And they gave one Emmy.
Because that trauma probably fueled his directing style really well.
But
He's like, wait, I made this movie? What do you mean?
I was in Split? Huh?
But overall,
When was this?
we have
Last week? Oh.
but overall we have a couple of things to go over. We've got the good, the mixed,
And the other
and the bad.
Sorry.
So, which ones do we want to go over first? The good, the mixed, or the bads?
Do we want to do...
Let's go over the good, right? We've already been kind of bouncing off here and there from good to bad to badish.
Because I think the most bad that we had with this movie was the theater itself.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So let's go with the good. Let's go back to the good side.
Like, if we had this on streaming and we were watching this in the house, I feel like we would have had a better experience.
Yeah, if we were watching it pitch black, have like maybe a candle on for
Ambiance.
One was constantly farting to make the exact same experience as we had at one.
Well, you'd
Then
have,
it'd be about
you'd have the
hard.
dog pissing in the corner, probably get yipped because she's too busy sniffing the cat's ass.
Get the cats just, like, clawing up the carpet and everything.
It'd still be a much quieter experience, but
It would.
okay,
I wouldn't have touched the movie.
But I got a few points here for the goods, and number one, you could definitely tell it was originally a rated R project, but they cut it down to PG-13. But to me, I thought it was PG-13 done well, and that's a rare thing.
Yeah.
Especially when you take something that already exists, cut it down, and re-edit for it to still be as well as it was, and still being as good as it is a week and a half later.
True. I'd rather have it that way than some movies where, like, it's supposed to be PG-13, but then, like, they keep trying to push it too much. It's like, well, now we gotta make it rated R, so let's keep pushing it more, and then it becomes, like, a mid-ish film. It's like...
Again, another issue that a lot of people had with AVP and AVP Requiem is, like, they tried to make AVP Requiem too fucking edgy.
The first one was good, and the second one was shit.
Oh, absolutely. Because they realized maybe we can push the envelope for the next one, make it R, make it fucking edgy for everyone. It's like, no, that's not the problem. It's like,
Well, dude, the second one, man, it was so goddamn dark, you couldn't see what the hell was going on.
yeah, you barely saw the Predalien any time. The fucking characters were unlikable. You were waiting for the fucking Predator or the alien to kill anyone, but they were barely on screen.
But
And then you had the fucking Xenomorph killing kids, which was surprising, honestly, because you never saw that before.
Well, you never had kids around it before.
Except for the one in Aliens.
Yeah, but that kid was hiding in a fucking...
Get away from her, you bitch!
I thought you were talking about Predators where they're hunting for autism. Was that Predators? I forget.
That was Predator.
That was the Predator.
The Predator.
The Predator.
That shit was the retarded. But
The autist.
that one, I'm not giving it any credence, dude. I didn't like the movie.
I never saw the movie, and even I know that sounds dumb.
It was garbage, honestly. I didn't like it.
And not even just from that point, just from everything I've heard about the movie, it's like that movie does not sound good.
It was supposed to be a really good movie. There was even a script that was leaked that had a better story than what they came out with.
well, you know, every movie's supposed to be a really good movie, so let's break that down.
Fair.
Look, when I shot the movie, when I was there live, it looked really good. And I see how it finished, I'm like, wait, this is what I made? Oh!
I mean, by the end, essentially, the military gets the Predator armor, and the fucking lead guy looks like Fulgore from fucking K.I.
And you tell me that does not look cool, because Fulgore was
It
based...
does look cool, but it's not Predator!
Because Fulgore was based off the Predator, I'll have you know.
Well, it doesn't look good on a regular human scientist and gets attached like a nanotech Iron Man suit.
I'll have you know, Carlos Charlie Blanca put his best efforts into that.
Yeah, we'll be watching that
Professor
movie tonight, by the way.
Dalsim came into the fray and helped him out with that shit.
Yeah, not one bit of stretchiness.
I mean, hey, at least I'll get to see John Claude
That
Van
would
Damme
see-
do flash kick in real life.
Jesus.
He does do that in the movie.
He does.
I was about to say, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's one of the last things he does at Bison. He does it actually.
Oh, yeah, that's right, that's right.
You see Bison fly around a little bit.
Come on,
Good movie.
You're right, Mortal Kombat was a good movie.
Mortal Kombat is still a good movie. I will that's a movie I can always still watch like every time, no matter what someone puts it
It's
on.
like,
Mortal Kombat.
it's great.
anytime it's on, it's like, oh, well, I guess one of
It's
Shang
a fun-
Tsung's really fun
It's
in
still
the
a fun
movie.
It's still one of the most faithful movies next to the new reboot that came out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I
I
think
mean, plus, it didn't even really focus on the powers or different abilities they had. It was just a grounded version.
It was
It worked.
like the stories about the characters and then how they were able
I mean,
to.
the only person with any kind of abilities was Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
it's like the Street Fighter anime movie where it's like, yeah, you're following Ryu, but he's just kind of walking around fighting world warriors. That's about it. What's the plot? That's about it.
It's like
And then Bison buys a semi to run Ryu over at the end of the movie.
you know what was a surprising movie? Like for what little we watched of it, Double Dragon was actually surprisingly fun. I actually really liked it when we watched it.
Was
It was
it?
fun when I was falling asleep on the floor.
I was really invested. It was like we'll have to watch it with you because it's actually really fun.
Because we
They make a Bobo really weird though. He's like this weird muscular like. You ever watched Big Trouble in Little China?
No.
You know the meme where the guy's fucking getting so mad that his head is expanding?
No.
And he just gets to a point where he's just like about to burst like completely.
Maybe I've seen the meme of it. I just don't recognize it.
He's just like steam's coming out of his nostrils. It's like he's
Oh,
super
okay,
fucking big.
yes, I've seen that.
That's from that. He looks like that.
Oh no.
Oh, Bobo looks like that.
Now I'm sad.
So, another good point is the parental bombshell that this movie puts on. Like,
Oh my
I
God,
understand
yeah.
I understand that she was not her actual parent. It was a guardian take on. But
Yeah.
you look at it, and this is actually one. I'll mix this in with one of my bad points. she's a screen raising parent.
Yeah.
She didn't care about screen time. She didn't want to really be bothered. She's just like, here, do this. I've got games on there. You can hang out on this while I'm doing this project of a cheap knockoff Furby
You know.
that farts.
But by the way,
And poop.
this is also in the good parts of this movie. Those commercials for the toys are the most accurate thing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
in
they
a
were pretty
movie.
dead on.
There was a quote I heard not so long ago. Well, a quote I was reminded of I heard years ago, where it was American TV is a parody of American TV.
Yes.
And you know what? Those commercials nailed it. It's like those American parodies were the exact definition of American TV.
I fucking believe it, honestly.
Yeah.
You're not wrong at all.
I heard that quote like 6 years ago. I'm like, I do remember that quote. That is still accurate.
Hell, what was it?
Like Stab 8.
Stab it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially in this whole generation of just like sequels and requels and everything.
Yeah.
It's just, it feels so familiar. And especially when they're upping the ante with fucking Ghostface having a flamethrower and shit.
And he's
Making
just
it
super jacked.
Super fucking jacked, yeah.
So then, the parenting bombshell, yeah.
By the way, they have a NECA figure of that guy.
It's
Yeah,
really
I'm getting it.
It's
I'm
really
getting
trying to hyper focus on paying attention to your children, which is sad that we have to put that into a movie today.
Yeah.
To try and get a point across, but I feel like anyone who needs the point given to them is too goddamn oblivious to see it anyway.
To be fair, I think this movie did it very well, though. Honestly,
Yeah.
It put into perspective how bad they can be, and like the lack of connection to a child when they have this connection to this inanimate object. Essentially, and it happens. It happens. I see it firsthand with my sister-in-law, but hopefully she doesn't watch this at all. I don't think she will.
Do you think she knows how to operate technology?
Her daughter does.
Do you think her daughter's going to show her some stupid shit like this?
She's shown worse.
Okay, but do you have any idea how easy it is to hide ourselves?
That's fair. Okay.
So my small counterpoint to that, I think the movie did it slightly worse than Smile. Smile, although it beat you over the head with saying that it's a mental illness, yes, I get the whole allegory is a movie for mental illness. It literally beats you over the head with it by saying like 5 times in a row at one point. I think Megan does a slightly poorer job at doing it. Not the worst, a slightly poorer job, because they're treating Megan like it's a toy robot. And I'll get into this in my whole big spiel with the problem I found with these movies in general.
You don't have to censor yourself, dude. It's just
no.
It's in a different perspective.
It's
you want that.
I'll get into it later.
Yeah.
It's not just the movie in general. It's what I have with a lot of these types of things in general. But the problem I found with Megan is that they treat it like it's like a toy or like it's a Fortnite. It's like it's literally walking and talking and doing things like a normal person. How is that the equivalent of you having your kids sit down watching YouTube for 18 hours a day?
I mean, this thing is essentially sentient at this point.
Literally the kids going outside and playing. Sure, the problem is the kids not having any fun with any other people, but still, it's like it's almost like the equivalent of Pokemon Go when it first came out. It's like, yeah, it was bad. Everyone was on their phones. You know what was happening? Everyone was outside. The park was the most crowded it's ever been when Pokemon Go first came out.
I'll give you that.
People were getting in their daily steps, and people were losing weight on a fucking app.
Stores were getting involved in it.
You've never
making sure
seen
people were
that
getting
many
out.
people out in the park in that long of a time in that many years.
You've never seen that many people unified in a long time. Yeah.
That's
Exactly
very true. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I will fully admit, I'll give you that.
That's what I'm saying. I think Megan does a slightly poor job. Not the worst. Again, not the worst. I think it does a slightly poorer job than Smile. But then again, they're pretty close. They're pretty close, honestly.
So do you think this is like a technology is bad movie?
In a small sense, but also, again, the whole point is, like Kyle was saying, it's like, give your child attention. Stop being this type of parent.
What do you mean? She does like halfway through the movie, but by that point she's already attached.
But it's after she had already been warned by Megan,
Right.
And she basically takes Megan's words.
She was literally
and tries
warned
to
at the
apologize.
beginning, too, like, don't you think this would be a replacement for you? She's like, no. I don't see it. It's like, okay.
It's alright. It's alright. She loves it. She loves it. It's alright. Oh no, she's getting attached. She's not listening to me.
I don't listen to my black friend. She's not good enough.
Oh no, she's gonna be fine. She's gonna be fine. We're gonna launch like a shit ton of these.
She doesn't have a kid. She doesn't understand.
You hear Fan Expo? We're gonna get a lot of these out to the mail market. They're gonna love it.
Your Anime Expo, we're not shipping to them because they're gonna be freaks.
You ever had a real doll? That's what this might be, but it's for kids.
No Anime Expo, get away.
Another thing that I actually really did dig about it, they didn't try to overplay what Megan was. Like,
Yeah.
they did to an extent, but that's just because of the production. We gotta push, we gotta make this, we gotta do it. But they captured her intimidation something fierce. I actually really like how creepy she was.
She was very.
She was very stern, stoic, well played, creepy. You could tell that she was thinking of shit, and when you find out about halfway through the movie, she never slept anyway.
She honestly, I think that Megan was the most human character out of this whole fucking movie.
I don't know.
Honest.
Thing's pretty good, but
Honestly, like with how she operated, like she had her moments when she was genuinely out to care for Katie, essentially the niece, and it was very heartwarming to see these two characters actually. Sorry, there's a dog whining somewhere.
it's not yours.
No,
Okay.
exactly.
Sorry, I thought I heard something else. Anyway,
It's me.
they were like, genuinely making a connection, which is the point of the movie. And when they had that heart to heart in the testing area and everything,
In the second production screening.
yeah, like you feel for them, you feel for Megan, you feel for her, and then you genuinely think, oh, Megan is actually like kind of her own person a little bit. Which is like,
plays on,
and then it hits you over the head with the fact that she's a toy. She's a toy. She's a toy. Don't. And then you start to get attached to Megan.
It's playing on the fact that she's more of a mom.
Yeah, she is a better mom than...
She is willing to go above and beyond to protect her, basically, her child.
Yeah.
Hey, bring it back.
That's what she was assigned to do, anyway.
Bring it back to Friday the 13th, Part 1, Pamela Voorhees.
Kind of.
This all for my kid, Jason, baby.
I mean, kind of. It's got those points to it. I mean, she was programmed to do it, and then her mother figure, her aunt, is confused about why she's being so overprotective. She genuinely doesn't know what programming she's put on this bot. She genuinely feels that the robot could have figured it out in the time being. No, she was given a protocol, and she followed that protocol.
Look, man,
I don't think Megan did
It was the
anything
same
wrong.
protocol and adaptivity that the annoying Furby fucking things had, because they were able to link up and get updates through the internet every day.
Right, they had the vocal recognition that they could hear what they were being talked at about, and then respond in real time with responses either from like the cloud, or was it like other conversations they had before.
Well, a lot of profile things that she had, because she recorded everything, and all the audio recordings and everything like that were uploaded into the cloud program, but all of it is instilled in Megan's personality chip.
Realistically, Megan's just a really big Furby.
Let's not put it like that.
Yeah.
It makes the movie scarier than it is.
Dude, I've played Tattletale before.
Which leads me into this.
Look, all I'm saying is that they didn't recognize the AI hardware because, one, it was Chinese malware, and two, it was cryptocurrency. They couldn't keep up with it anyways.
What if the whole point of the movie is like, she had to update her fucking security software, so it's just like she's getting fucking malware and she turned evil?
No, she couldn't do it because it's all stuck on the blockchain.
Oh shit.
But I mean, that leads me to my next point. The kills were actually pretty good.
For a PG-13 movie, I liked them.
Far and few between, but it was good.
I mean, the paper cutter was pretty intimidating as shit.
There was about 1, 2, 3, 4. There was about 5 kills in the movie.
Yeah.
And
4 technically, if
I count the dog.
Right,
So when speaking of the dog,
4 people kills.
Did anyone else think that when she was going for the dog that there was a snare around the hole?
No.
You didn't think there was a snare around the hole? For some reason, I saw an outline of like a rope or something like that.
No,
I thought she was gonna go.
No, I saw what you're talking
or something
about.
like that.
I saw what you're talking about when you were seeing the movie. It was a vine.
Was it a vine? Okay.
Yeah, it was like a long vine. It was like going like from like the right side of the hole. It was going like downwards.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
no, it was not a snare.
Well, what about those intimidating words that she said to the fucking owner? She's like, "Where's my dog? About 45 miles out and 5 feet under."
About 5 miles out, 6 feet under, in a deserted wood somewhere.
Like, what are you? I've been asking myself that same question a lot lately.
Which brings the existential reason to it, but she didn't use the same method of killing more than once. Which,
Yeah, she's not like a classic slasher.
Well, I mean, it brought it a lot more, which is more relatable to Chucky, because Chucky has the most diverse kind of kill ratio.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll get into that comparison in a little bit.
I have that one down here too.
Awesome.
She strangled the dog. She pierced and acid washed the dog's owner, next door neighbor.
That was pretty brutal, honestly.
She ripped off the ear of the bully kid and proceeded to have him run into a car. She
paper cutted 2 people.
Yep, she got the paper cutter in the CEO.
Yeah.
And then CEO's assistant.
Yeah, the CEO's assistant. Yeah, she did kill him.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. So she kind of had 2 stabbings.
But in 2 different styles.
Yeah. One was a stabbing. One was like a throat slit or a slash or something.
You want to talk about the ending Mortal Kombat fight?
We'll get to that in a minute.
Rock, paper, robots. I mean, the ending of this movie is basically Real Steel.
I like how I called it from the beginning, and it's like,
It's like a callback to the beginning. It's really cool.
I like how I called it from the beginning. It's like a Real Steel robot. He's gonna just.
It is like it's genuinely a Real Steel robot.
Yeah.
But for a movie that was maybe an hour 40 to have 5 kills in it, that's roughly about what Halloween was.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's well held up. I mean, obviously you can't have the same kind of.
Want to hear that story? That's our first video in this channel.
I'm talking about the original Halloween, the good one.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm Gary.
And
New Halloween, last Halloween had a lot.
wrong.
Wrong.
It didn't have shit. That's what made it wrong.
Didn't? I thought
Michael
it
very
did.
much.
A lot of confusion.
That too.
Again, if you want to see that video, go to the bottom of this channel. It's the first video.
And what you were saying a little bit earlier, I have right here, the character arc of the doll itself. She improvised, adapted, overcame. She became Bear Grylls.
At one point, she became a bear.
Yeah, she was doing the fucking bear running sprint in the
She became
forest.
Beast from X-Men.
That's how defective as that run is, not practical. She did it.
She's running down like a fucking death metal run.
She had Jason teleporting powers. The guy was sprinting down the hallways, and she was just power walking towards him faster than he can run.
Yeah.
And she started out as something that was good, useful, innocent, something that Katie needed, to where you started getting more protective because she's linked in with this person, or synced in. I don't remember what term they used.
I think yes.
Yeah, synced. And that was her primary.
She was paired. She was paired with
there
her.
You go.
Oh.
And that was her primary.
She was Bluetooth paired with her.
Yeah.
And that was her primary person that she had to make sure she was there for. She had to become basically older sister or mama bear or the protector, because she knew nothing was going to happen. And then things went a little bit above and beyond, which actually brings me into this is what Child's Play 2019 wanted to be and should have been.
Okay, I'll stop you for half a second. When they say paired in, it just got me. Was that supposed to be a reference to Apple products?
Yes.
How it used to be your thumbprint, and this one was just 2 fingers instead.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Damn it.
That's actually exactly what they went for.
Also, one question about that technology. So, how does that pairing work? Is it like you put the 2 fingers down and she like gets a feel for like your pulse, your fingerprints, and basically like your body heat or something like that, and detects those specific things around her in order to like sort of detect where you are at all times, and then that's how it knows where to look or something like that?
I would argue about that, because she was able to do that to the bully kid, and the bully kid never really touched him.
That's fair, except when he picked him up.
But
Sorry. I am very deep into beer right now.
When he picked her up, and then everyone in the audience was freaking out because it looked like he was going to mount her and do something weird.
Yeah, I was half expecting him to use this as a real doll.
I wasn't expecting
But
that at all.
it's...
I was like, there's no way they're going to do that in this type of film.
Yeah, especially PG-13 film.
Have 2 kids have sex on screen like this is
once you
Future Diaries. Ugh.
Well, once you had that fucking slap come around her, I'm like, oh, something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
He's trying to beat a toy for not working.
I think the reason a lot of people were thinking that was because when he just took out the shoe and just mounted her for no reason.
Yeah,
that was
just
a
like
little weird. I'm like, where
that
the
was
fuck
very
is this
weird.
going?
Yeah, I was like, why the shoe?
With that kid, the way he was and how he behaved around Katie and everything,
He deserved it. He keep saying that.
So you're with me on this?
Yes.
I think the kid deserved what he got.
This is Richard's mom.
So yeah, pretty kid. He got mad at me for laughing when he died.
I don't feel bad at all.
I honestly kind of laughed.
I've seen her laugh at people die. I don't want to see her do shit. But
She laughs at scream kills a
She's
lot.
like, I feel bad for the mom. Pfft, I'm with the shade. She can make another one. That mom's good.
Well, fuck the mom.
That kid's messed up.
well, fuck the mom. This goes back to learn how to parent your kid.
Yeah, and it was a genuine accident. I mean, he ran out in front of the car. I mean, he was provoked to run out like away from the doll, but it was technically his fault. It was on him.
But again, that's the protection aspect that even the new Chucky had over Andy. Mm-hmm. Because the buddy doll was meant to be there to be kind of like what M3gan was.
Yeah.
He was there to be your friend. He was there to be a household tool. He was there to be a buddy. He was adaptive. He was able to hook up to the cloud. He was able to control different instruments through Wi-Fi and other buddy doll items. Like, he was able to even hook up to drones and streetlights and Caslin product cars.
Which I do like they implied that M3gan can do that, but not exactly outright. Like, she is connected to the cloud, but they never implied that she's connected to the entire, like...
Database.
Database and technology all around her, essentially, which by the ending she's connected to essentially their version of the Alexa.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what Chucky was too.
Yeah, But like he was,
It's
I think the whole point was that was also like what I was saying earlier. That's supposed to be the Apple product. I think that Alexa thing was supposed to be like the Apple product equivalent too.
it was
Yeah,
like, it
fair.
was like Google Home. Yeah.
okay, all right,
And it's like what Jeff has.
yeah, all right.
And
So in turn, she could probably control every Furby too.
Yes.
Like, she was making
That sounds terrifying for a sequel. Like it's essentially a Gremlins fucking remake.
because at that point it's in the database and all the companies' networking system.
Oh god.
well, think about it. That's exactly
And that
also
guy,
what
he
Chucky
probably-
did too.
Yeah.
That guy probably sent out the copy of files for other companies as well. We don't know what happened to those.
So then it's worldwide. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally worldwide right now. I didn't even think about that. Holy shit.
And
Sequel, make it
then
2.
the sequel will be called like Claire or something, and the E's still 3.
Oh shit. Yeah. Fuck. You got a
It's like
movie
other
right there.
companies making knockoff dolls.
That's about how I felt in the theater. My
Flashlight.
my terrarium for my herbs just kicked on with its UV light, and there was a fucking stupid bitch in the middle of the theater that turned on their phone light, and it blinded me for like half a second. That's how I feel right now.
But again, it's really trying to dig into what Child's Play wanted to be and should have been.
The more we
it
talk about it, the more I see it. Yeah.
It captured a lot more of what Chucky was trying to be, but it did it way fucking better.
Less Mark Hamill though.
The only thing that Megan did different than Chucky was that she was actually able to hide her kills.
Honestly,
Chucky
yeah.
was really bad at doing that. He literally put him on full display.
Chucky's too tiny.
Well, because he
Literally-
wanted to show Andy that
Yeah.
he was there to help and protect him.
Yeah.
Megan hit it to protect
Well, I
him.
mean, literally cutting off the dude's face and putting on a watermelon. Like, hey,
Yeah, I
check
thought
this
that
out.
was funny.
Hey!
Aren't you proud? No!
Jack-o'-lantern.
Jacko.
This is for Tupac.
This is for two. Oh yeah, that's right. That was a thing in the movie. This is for Tupac.
That's the dumbest line in the whole movie.
I
actually thought it was pretty good.
I love that.
I know,
line.
it's-
it's along the lines of like Trick or Treat, motherfucker, or
that's what
the
makes-
fucking kung fu moves and Halloween
Well,
Resurrection
that's what
and
makes it
shit.
so dumb because it's so dumb it's good, and that's the whole thing. Because literally the kid's going like, say this is for Tupac.
This is for
Well, I mean, because also think about it. The way that Chucky killed the creepy janitorial dude, the custodial guy who has secret cameras hidden in the apartments,
Yeah.
and he was able to watch all the women get jarred.
What's else in the
He was able. He also deserved it.
Yeah.
He was able to get burned by Chucky because it was a Caslin product that ran the AC unit, and he scalded him with the pipe right above the buzzsaw.
Yep. And
Oh,
the
shit,
bus
yeah.
was also activated by him because it was also a Castle product too.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that movie again. Just to, I would like to do the full comparison where we
need
have
to
like
get-
the Megan review and we have like the Child's Play.
I need to get my
2016.
copy back from
I would
Joe.
say also the same thing with everything in the toy store when they were sending the other buddy dolls. They had the he was also throwing the little
yeah,
drones
that's
and
right.
everything. The drones with metal blades for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Well, he attached the razor blades to him.
Where the razor blades attached to them, it just looked like normal.
It's kind of like the John Drum video where he attaches the fucking razor blades to the back of the hat to cut your face.
I think you say like the Family Guy video when he puts all the razor.
Your cabeza by night. Dubai extraño.
Now to save half the time by putting all these razors on this fan. 2 hours. I did it again.
Lowish, I did it again. It's the Krusty brand like lady mustache trimmer. It's like it's crust-terrific, but is my lip supposed to bleed like this?
But ultimately, the last thing I'll say about the Child's Play thing is because MGM Grand owns the rights to the original Child's Play with Orion Pictures.
Yeah.
Universal owns the rest of the Chucky franchise. Universal made Megan. And so this is the ultimate fuck you to
It's the ultimate
MGM.
crossover.
Well, this is the ultimate fuck you to MGM because no one in Universal supported the remake of Child's Play.
Huh.
I mean, hey, welcome to the 80s when everything was a knockoff of everything. I mean, look at Killer Instinct. It was supposed to be a knockoff of so many fighting games back in the day. Look at Clay Fighters. It was a knockoff of every fighting game, including Killer Instinct, too.
Look at Critters. Look at Gremlins.
Look at Rampage.
Look, Rampage is a parody of all monster movies.
Exactly, that's the point. And that's what Clay Fighters was. It was a parody of every fighting game that existed.
Yeah, even Mortal Kombat to an extent, it had a lot of like horror aspects to it, like a lot of like
Yeah,
horror.
I mean, look at
characters.
what they've done now. They include horror characters.
Well, I say,
Yeah.
well, then also look at Midway when they're also knocking off themselves. War Gods, Dark Rift, all those other
Oh
games.
yeah! Oh my god!
And then,
Think about all the movie references to Conker's Bad Fur Day and everything.
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like this is the ultimate FU to MGM Grand by saying, like, we don't want you to remake our movie, so fuck you, we're going to remake your remake and make it how it should be.
I believe that, honestly.
And it worked out well.
And obviously it left on the cliffhanger to where she's still able to control the house.
Essentially, they're
Basically, control the house.
Yeah.
Well, because when she came home before the final fight, when she was at the piano, she was already in control of the house because it wasn't listening to her.
Yeah.
Well, even before then, when the aunt was arguing with the daughter.
Oh, yeah, she was controlling the lights.
Yep.
You're right.
She was doing it way before then.
It was like, be quiet, stop it. Power
And
outage.
then she's like, Megan, turn off. You're supposed to listen to the
I thought we were having a conversation here. Fuck, Mom.
I'm sorry. I thought we were having a conversation.
She got some fucking sass in this movie,
I
honestly.
fucking loved her.
She got
She's great.
hair with ass.
The actress that plays Megan is really good.
And if...
Too bad we can't find the photo I was talking about.
And-
I know, where she's got like the latex peeling off and she's got that.
Yeah, and she's like, hey, it's me.
And the last thing I will say about the good in it is obviously, yeah, there'll probably be a sequel because it's done very fucking well.
Oh, yeah.
It's already made almost triple its budget.
That's good.
In a week.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it's still going strong with theaters around here.
Oh, I would want a sequel. I want, like, more...
Well, because now you can't tell me the cops are going to let her keep the kid. So they're going to send her to the other grandparents down in Florida, which means, could Megan's sequel be in fucking Florida?
Well, again, like we were
Florida
discussing, technically now...
She's the reason for a lot of Florida men.
Well, like we were saying earlier,
girls.
technically she's already worldwide because the CEO's assistant leaked them the company documents of her files.
So was that canon? Did he actually leak them, or did he just save them to his
Well,
drive?
that's what Megan was talking about right before doing it. It's like, it seemed like an innocent prank at first, and now you're just really into it because you really hated your boss.
Because the CEO, because she was saying that like the CEO already found out that he did that.
Well, no, that was a threat. That was basically like saying the story behind why he killed the boss. Technically, like so to so.
No,
it was already
she was reading his heartbeat, his feelings, and everything. And it's like he already found out, and she was giving the excuse like, "This is why you wanted to kill him."
Well,
but then
because
you can live with the guilt of killing him. This is why you want to kill yourself.
Because he stole the files off of her laptop and sent it to his.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize that. The mother cow. Jeez.
It was literally on my.
Sorry, my cat.
It was literally like a My Documents passport.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Which meant he was an inside man.
Sorry, I couldn't focus on the movie because of our fucking theater.
That was also that half joke where he was like, "You're not looking at Pornhub at work again, are you?"
He said, "No."
This dude looked like a fucking pedo.
He honestly, when he was asking to like bring more kids on a set, I was expecting him to be a fucking like yellow dino to be coming out, was like talking to you about tricky people and shit.
Just sweating profusely. Bring more kids. We don't have more kids. You're fired.
You're fired.
Here's where I get into the mixed part of my reviews.
Yeah.
Number one, the fucking therapist. The therapist, I agreed with her to an extent because she's doing her job. It's a state-ordered issued thing.
Yeah.
Especially if it's allegedly supposed to be around here in Washington because they had the plates. Even though it was filmed in New Zealand, LA, Vancouver,
Was it supposed to be in
Quebec.
Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plates.
That's really cool.
Which is why me and Back were talking about earlier. Well, I was making the point was like, you never know. It could have been Seattle because where were the parents going? Up to the mountains to ski. Could have been Vancouver. That's just right up north.
They said they were on the road, near Oregon, right?
No, they said they're going up to the mountains to go skiing. Where's all the snow? Up north. In Canada.
Wait, the wreck happened in Oregon, though.
I don't think
They were taken to an Oregon hospital
Oh, wait.
because she had to have also lived in Oregon.
Do you think they
For
were
her to
flown
go
out or something like that?
Probably.
With a snowplow
They
like
would have
that.
had to have been because they're in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, with recent events, I mean, like, I wouldn't say, like, I wouldn't argue against it.
But I mean, the therapist, like I said, she was doing her job. It's a state-ordered, court-ordered thing that she has to do. She was kind of pushing, like, well, why don't you have toys, or why don't you have this? I'm like, she just got here yesterday.
Seriously.
I know.
And, well, you have to parent this, or you have to do it like this, and she was kind of a twat.
She had that moment. She was like passive aggressively opening up her fucking collectibles.
No.
Here, fuck, limited edition. There you go.
No.
And then when she's like, "That's not how you play with it," and it's like, "Well, let her learn." I'm like, "Okay."
The line that cracked me up was just like, you need to change 2 things about this lifestyle. And then she just walks out and was like, what are the 2 things?
Okay, I guess I'll fuck myself then.
Bye-bye. I'll never know that.
Bye-bye.
But then later on in the movie, when she starts to really see how unified Katie and Megan become, she starts to actually become useful and hopeful, towards like, have you heard of the adaption theory? And starts to really include on what Megan can be doing and how she's seeing it progress. And how
she genuinely starts doing her job and everything.
She sees how Katie is acting herself, and like, okay, so she was yes and no for me.
Yeah.
And tell you the truth, I'm kind of surprised she didn't get offed.
So honestly, I think...
Wait, you want this to be like the Jurassic Park lady all over again?
Oh, shit.
She did nothing wrong. She's just trying to watch the kids and then just gets killed horribly.
Yeah. But I mean, like, with that therapist, I think it was, like, at least somewhat necessary with the idea that they're trying to throw out is different parenting.
Again, just kind of beating you over the head with the be a better parent.
Be a better parent, and then every parenting style is being brought into question. Like, should you raise your parents? Yeah.
I always
as soon as my parents get into a home, I'm giving them a tablet. No, like, should you raise your kids on like technology, or should you be like basically helicopter parenting them? Because that's what she was basically. She was all over her doing was like. You need to be at this child's side like 24/7, essentially. Mm-hmm. But then, and then that's more so shown when she sees Megan, and then she brings out the adaption theory thing, and it's just like, I don't think this is good. This is you need to be there for again. It's just like, what the fuck do you want me to do? You didn't tell me the 2 reasons, like you said. It's just like, could you at least give me a list? I would like to work on this shit. I'm her guardian, after all.
1, toys. 2, take a piss.
Okay, I do have to pee.
Okay.
I can only do 1 of 3. Huh?
Well,
I only got 3 bottles in my office. It's pretty big.
Well, I'm kind of confused, Doc. Number 2's a number 1. You know, how do I do number 1?
What's a number 3?
Well, there's no such thing as 2.
Well, number 2's a poo.
It's just
so,
1 and 1.5.
Well, number 2's a poo, and you want me to do number 2 as a number 1. How do I do number 1 then? I can't get toys if I'm doing number 1. Doing number 2 is also doing number 1.
Look, you need to figure this shit out. I'm just a therapist. I'm a child therapist, said that.
Look, I'm not a psychologist. Get out of here.
Look, man,
I'm not a trauma therapist.
Look, guys, I just work here.
I'm not a... I'm not a philosopher, okay?
Look, I'm not a psychologist.
I got my degree at night school.
Look, I'm not a psychologist, but I am a lobotomist, so...
Come in anytime.
Be careful.
Well, so is Megan, apparently. She's like, only a couple inches through your cranial cavity causes full body paralysis.
She did make a lobotomy joke. Holy fuck.
I'm like, see this pen? But
you see this pen.
Sell me this pen.
Sell me this pen.
I can make you paralyzed in 3 seconds.
Son of a bitch, I'm sold. I'll take 7.
I love the fact that they bring in just like the fucking E-pen, and then it's just like a running joke at that point. Because it's like, look at this pen. Ding. Powered off manually. Like, look at this pen. I thought we were having a fucking conversation, Jen.
Why don't you look at this pen?
Why should look at this pen? And then, like, yeah, she fucking.
You wanna know how I got these pens?
I got so much pens.
Office Depot, baby.
Buzz Lightyear, she clicks her shoulder. There's a fucking pen.
I've got
the pen.
I've got the pen.
Why, you useless researcher?
I'm the pen guy. Anyone need a pen?
Well, hey, the pen saved the day with the
Honestly,
pen.
you did. When you make a story where the pen saves the day, have you really made a real movie yet? You made a Taika Waititi movie, apparently.
We were close to one. It was called The Page Master. The pen is mightier than the sword.
I mean...
Is he wrong? That movie's so fucking... It's so good. I like that movie.
You had me so out of it by saying Taika Waititi movies, and then he just ropes me right back into the
Ropes me right back with Page Master.
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin. Holy
cartoon.
Shit. How would you like to curl up with a good book?
Yes.
That was a good line, honestly. That's pretty good.
But another part in my mixed bag is, well, we've kind of already touched on it and fairly well, is how it follows Child's Play almost too much to where it's almost not its own thing.
Yeah, but like with the concept of it, you can kind of separate it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, one's got tits, but that are supposed to be there.
Also, the fact of customization.
Yes.
Like, Chucky never had that.
Well, he did in the remake because he came in different skins.
Did he?
Yeah,
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
You had the bear
part.
skin, you had the leprechaun skin, you had different colors, you had a redhead, a blonde.
Oh,
brown
okay.
hair.
All right.
See, I think that was a girl model too, huh? Wasn't it supposed
Was there a girl? Was it like a Tiffany model almost?
Well, like, I don't think they actually showed it, but I think it was supposed to be like a
Well, because they had
cardboard standee cutout or whatever.
Because they had the Buddies, and then they were releasing the Buddy 2.
Yeah.
And it's like an iPhone product.
Okay.
And then,
Do you think that, like, as a reference to Tiffany, would they have put out like a Tiffany model almost?
I would say their asses are getting sued because Tiffany's a Universal product.
Oh shit!
Honestly, they might have gotten close to it. I think
Like a blonde girl or
Well, I
something.
think
like
what we've
that.
gotten close if it was like a blonde girl in a white dress.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Or leather.
Yeah, leather jacket.
But another thing
Jet
that
bolt.
kind of took me in and out, we also do kind of cover this too, but the cutaway kills. I feel like at least one could have been in there. I mean, the most that we got was out of the little shithead kid. You saw,
with
you saw
the
the ear getting kind of ripped off.
That was a very elastic ear. Very stretchy ear.
Yeah,
This guy's Plastic Man, apparently.
Yeah.
And then I do kind of like how she was talking to him, though.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. Put the kid in his place.
It was very cathartic, honestly.
Like, another thing, though,
Yeah.
this is why it's mixed. I liked one, but I didn't really care for the other. I'm not saying the film's a musical, but there are songs. But the songs that Megan ended up singing in the movie, they were kind of hit and miss for me. I get they're trying to...
The first song was good.
Like, I get that she's using it as, like, a calming, soothing technique for the kid.
Yeah.
And she's probably pulling it from the internet, honestly.
Yeah. I do like her voice, though. Regardless of if
She's
I like
a
the
very
songs,
good singer, honestly.
regardless of if I like the songs or how they were done, I like her voice.
I'm
I think the first one worked. Titanium, I think, was kind of weird.
Titanium just hit almost too close on the head. Like,
Yeah.
It was a little too on the nose, but also it's like it didn't feel like it was more up to date, which kind of also made the movie kind of feel like it's a little bit older.
She might as well have been saying, I'm
like,
the
sorry.
bad guy. Duh.
like you could
That would be too much of a nose.
Nutter sitting there doing the "What do you want from me?
What do you need from me?
Or have her doing that while she's doing the fucking intimidation dance to grab the paper cutter.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I
she got some
kinda like-
she got some fucking dance moves.
Like, I remember seeing that in the trailer. I'm like, how is that going to be taken serious? But when it happened, I was like, this is actually
See,
kind of cool.
and
I kind of like it.
And that was the thing too. I heard about the trip. Well, I heard about reviews about the movie. It's like the trailers do a disjustice to that movie.
Oh, yeah.
They
Oh,
make
yeah.
it seem like a weird, goofy slasher movie when it is not a weird, goofy slasher movie at all.
Honestly, yeah.
I'm not saying that
the
movie
ads don't do it just. I'm sorry.
Like, I'm not saying that the movie isn't completely not made for kids. Obviously, you got PG-13 and some acceptance.
Yeah.
Especially with the teenagers next to us. Yeah.
Fuck me, dude. But I would say that, is this a movie that you would take your young child to see?
No.
Well, maybe. Like, I would hesitate
If
taking
they've
them-
already seen other horror movies, I'd say that's fine.
Well, I mean, like, because for how clean it was and how little
If you've
blood you
seen
had-
AVP, you've seen this movie, kind of.
Maybe if they were 11 or 12, any younger, I
I was
probably
gonna say,
not.
if they had hit like 9 years old, the age of the kid in the movie, or double digits, I would probably take them to see the movie because by then they should know how to fucking behave in the theater.
Yeah.
Allegedly, but
Don't take your
not
babies
for-
to go see this.
Never take
Yeah,
babies anywhere.
I heard a fucking infant cry in this goddamn movie. I thought it was going to be The Purge all over again.
I heard babies cry in the Deadpool theater.
I remember you guys. Yeah.
I hate when people
Why would
do
you
that.
take your baby to a Deadpool movie?
Why would you take your baby to an R-rated movie in
I
general?
can't-
Why would you take your baby to a movie in general?
Because I can't afford a babysitter, so I'm gonna take it with me. You just can't ask your grandma.
I get taking
so
a
I
5-year-old
have-
to a kid's movie. I get that.
So I have to listen to your weak pull-out game because you don't know how to put bills down?
Jesus Christ! All right.
Look,
I have to listen to your fucking tax credits?
look, man. All I
Ted
know.
didn't ask to be born.
Look, man. All I know. It's called a coat hanger.
Jesus Christ! Okay.
Falcon!
We're
Look. If they can't deal with the weak pullout, you got a coat hanger too. If you don't got a
Look,
coat
it's
hanger,
just a
then
monster, honey. Just drink it.
if you don't got a coat hanger, then you're living the family dream of a dumpster baby.
Yes,
We've just
honey, I'm
listed out
making-
3 versions of child something.
We believe in women's rights. That's where this is going.
I love women.
It's your choice.
Should we continue?
I love
Yes,
women.
what a perfect transition into the bad part of my
Oh
review.
boy, yeah.
Now
Thank you, Juby.
Now we're going from abortion clinics to the bad parts of the review.
Oh, the
hangers?
bad.
The
Planned
kid,
Parenthood?
no, the kid herself,
Yes.
Katie, actually kind of irritated me. It kind of took me out of the movie.
You know what I feel like you are going to compare this to? You're going to compare this to the Babadook.
I actually wasn't.
Really?
She's not that annoying.
Okay, fair. I like the kid for the most part.
Like, she was all right, but she just
She just lost her parents. I
she
get
had
what
too
she's
much
mad.
she had too much of an attitude, constantly going like, you can't open your eyes and realize that, hey, this person is trying to help you, whether they're really there or not. I mean, she didn't have to fucking claim your ass. She could have just said, nah, I don't recognize that fucking kid. Them velociraptor scratches, they ain't mine. Nope. You can check my blood, check hers, no, we don't match. Well, I don't give a fuck, that's wrong. I'm COVID positive. Anyway. But and then
COVID negative, died.
And then once she starts
fever in the movie.
And once she starts like outlashing and backlashing,
fucking pimp slapping her aunt.
And
especially during the beginning of that last act when starts throwing a hissy fit in the car, dude, it made me want to
fucking kicks her while she's driving. I was half expecting her to fucking wreck as soon as she did that.
I was really wanting to punch her,
especially after her family had died during a wreck where they were being distracted.
I expected a bad punchline to hurt the kid's feelings. Like, you want to kill me too?
Yeah, I half expected that too.
But I mean, she kicks the seat while she's driving. After she also, or no, it was right before she also slaps the shit out of her.
Oh my god! In front of the therapist, the one slap, and she's like, everything goes quiet. She's like, "Could you leave this for a second?"
Kicks the car, destroys the test room, holds a pair of scissors to the counselor.
Yep, that's true.
And then slaps the aunt.
I was half expecting her to just do it like a little, as a threat, and then accidentally cut her a little bit, and then she's like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry," like be instantly regretful.
I also thought that
because that whole time when she was wrecking the test room, I was like, "Dude, I would if I was that parent,
this is like
I'd
the
go
kids
in there
at Walmart that
slap them so hard."
Like, I knew she was gonna grab the scissors, but I thought she was gonna like ream them out and like almost start to bleed because the scissors cut her.
Yeah.
And then something was gonna happen, but nah. She grabbed that. She started freaking out and slapped her aunt, and I'm like, "Oh no." Gemma, and once I heard Gemma say, "Give us a minute," I thought there was going to be some round one.
I was expecting the boot to come out. Becca was expecting the belt to come out.
Yeah, no shit. And I'm sitting there like, "Give me my belt."
Trust me. I was hit with the boot as a kid, so I know the boot.
The boot of the Simpsons, like the Aussie episode of The Simpsons.
I'm not lying. I was actually hit with the boot as a kid.
Like steel toe boot.
Yeah.
Whether it's steel toe or not, I know it was a boot.
I got some slight brain damage.
I know what a boot looks like.
Brain damage.
I know what a boot looks like. You know what? It looks like this boot.
Fuck. All right.
My boots. I wear today.
Work boots? Were those steel toe?
No, there's snow boots.
Those snow boots. Why are you wearing snow boots to work?
Why not?
In case it snows again.
Okay.
It's still winter.
All right, I'll give you that. Fair.
You never truly know, and I mean, he's got.
I like those Sorel boots that I have over there. Those are nice.
And then right after she does that, she calms down, comes back, starts apologizing, and then she starts having her humanity back. I'm like, all it took is one slap.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Home Alone when like Kevin's like insulting his mom up the stairs or something like that. There are 15 people in this house, and you're the only one that has to make trouble. I'm the only one getting dumped on. The only one acting up. So get upstairs. I am upstairs, dummy. Opens the closet door. The third floor. Go. It's scary up there. Don't be silly. Fuller will be up in the moment. I want to sleep with Fuller. I'm sorry. It's too late. Get upstairs.
And yet the upstairs is very nice.
Everyone in this family hates me.
The upstairs is very nice.
It's actually pretty decked out.
It looks like Sonic's bedroom.
It does. Yeah.
It does kind of look like.
I wonder if that was an inspiration. I don't know.
Like Sonic's Loft.
Yeah. But maybe it's like a 90s inspiration or something like that.
I mean, he basically helped run the 90s.
Fair.
He was 90. Sonic was 92? 92.
When was Home Alone? Was that in the 80s?
Home Alone was, I think, 91.
Okay, so it was 90. So I wouldn't. It could be a connection. You never know.
I think there's something happening here.
There's something happening here.
Tell her she's
And then, like I said, the idea of screen raising, that's really fucking bad for me. That's something that really pisses me off as a person, and I've seen it firsthand. I experience it.
Another thing is
screen raising. What do you mean?
Using your phone to raise a child.
Oh, yeah.
See, I loved it. It wasn't a phone back in my day. It was a TV. And
it was a TV.
And those video games.
It was the good old boob tube, the cancer factory.
And I tell you what, those video games, woo, they were really good.
Ooh, the Dreamcast, I can hear it now.
The longest time I always thought I could double jump. Turns out my life was a lie.
Broke my shit in 2 ways.
Where are the health packs?
Where's the floating guns? GTA told me there's a floating gun right here.
I lost my hat. Where's the vulture?
I beat this kid up and there's no flying money.
There's no Wampa fruit out here. What's up?
Then the movie's said to be in Washington. It's not. It's very evident. It's at least Tacoma, Olympia, some shit like that, possibly Vancouver.
Pacific Northwest is very liberal.
Very west.
Okay.
It was very business oriented.
Yeah.
Okay.
City.
Which is why I said Seattle a lot of times.
Yeah.
Especially when you see the giant buildings, which is mostly Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah. The funky
The funky, like, I was half expecting this company to be sort of like almost a subsidiary of like Hasbro.
Well, they were at war with Hasbro.
Yeah.
Oh, were they? Okay.
Because they said that.
Was it Hasbro? Okay.
Yeah, because after they showed the first screening of Megan to Ronnie Chang's character, he's like, if we can get this and we can get an emotional out of them, we can shove this so far up Hasbro's ass. I'm like, okay. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So then, like, what would this company be kind of compared to? Would it be like Bandai?
I'm trying to think. Does Universal own Hasbro? I don't think they do.
No.
Because that'd be a jab at My Little Ponies.
No, Paramount owns Hasbro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Paramount does the Transformer movies.
Gotcha.
Yep. But they also
right.
have Bandai. Bandai Namco owns Transformers, though.
Well, then what the fuck? Where's my Soul Calibur movie, Paramount?
Fuck.
Bandai doesn't own Transformers, do they?
Bandai made Transformers, or they're like responsible for the toys, at least.
Well, the toy production's a different thing. Kind of like how Konami has their own medical production, and that's different from the game production unit.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Konami makes all
Is
the
that why there's a bunch of umbrella labeled fucking ambulances everywhere?
of Konami?
Yeah.
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 Their main business is medical stuff. Their second business is gaming, which is why it has 0 games as of like the last 20 years.
That's so weird to think about.
Yeah.
Weird.
Like
Okay.
how most companies make all their money from pachinko machines.
Yeah. That's also something I looked into, and that was funky.
It's a sad fact, and it's also sad how most remakes are Funkos, pachinko machines.
There's at least like
also Funko Pops.
In Japan, there's at least like 4 like vending machines to each person in Japan. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And then the last part on my bad review, obviously, it was the theater of shitheads.
Yeah.
It really took me in and out of the movie, but to not punish the movie itself, trying to focus on what was solely going on, for being a January horror movie, for being something that was cut down, for being something that was a rush-produced, overly marketed movie, I think Megan actually really sold me. I think Megan was really well
I think
done.
it was very well done.
I can't wait to own it. I would give it a solid 7.5.
I can't wait for was it theorized or was it actually confirmed that we're getting an unrated cut?
It was the writer of the movie was hoping that they could make an unrated cut.
Oh, I'd be all over that.
Because they're looking at Dan Schneider and like, please.
Dan Schneider, bring all my bitches back.
Because the Schneider cut, you know what I mean?
Fuck.
Oh, right.
The Schneider cut.
Wrong
The
cut.
Schneider cut of like it's just all feet. It's all feet and all.
Well, yeah,
feet.
that's what that one scene was going. The kid took off her foot. Her shoe. Sorry, her not.
That's a little Dan Schneider right there.
He's got a point.
It's like what we're seeing with Sam Raimi making that one movie. What was it 63?
69.
No, that was
65?
a joke. That's what
you're
Pretty
talking
Kitty said.
65. There we go.
65.
It should have been 69. I would have laughed.
That was what Pretty Kitty said when she first made like 69. And then she sat down.
Oh my god. Okay. 69. What? But yeah, it was like 65 million years
Well,
ago.
she
or
also
something like
gave up oral sex for cheese, so ain't no 69 happening here.
Nope. But yeah, no, I was just gonna say it's like Sam Raimi with that movie because there's also you said there was a second director too. I didn't catch that.
Well, Sam Raimi was producer and partial writer. There was 2 separate directors.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, cool.
that. I'd be all over that movie. I'd love to talk about that
I'm
one.
curious to see it, but
It looks like a combination of Turok and what was it? Dino Crisis?
I said Dino Crisis.
Yeah.
Dino Crisis 3 in particular because Dino Crisis 3 has all the future tech with still dealing with dinosaurs.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I saw a lot of that too.
I like the concept of them like landing on a separate planet, but then realizing that they went back in time.
Well, see, that's
essentially.
what kind of made me think Lost Planet vibes.
That too.
Yeah, very Lost Planet. Yeah.
Yep. I got that too.
But yeah,
Like
well,
Lost Planet, what was it? Lost Planet 2 when it's like all the jungle stuff, not snow.
Yep. Lost Planet 1 was
Because Lost Planet 3, I believe, is like back to the snow.
I think so. Yeah.
think so,
There's
yeah.
3 games.
I think I have 3.
1 was good.
No, I have 2. I have 2. Yeah.
Well, you have number 2? Fair find.
I think I have 2.
Number 2 is a great game and also still has really good multiplayer to this day.
I would have to look for it. I think it's in the storage unit, but I could look for it.
Because it goes from good.
And I have the PS3.
Because it goes from good to better to okay.
Because I know that one of them has like the worst multiplayer in the world.
that's
That probably
the third one.
probably 3 because number 2 is
Then that's
still
3. I think
because number 2 has really good multiplayer co-op. 'Cause it's just think of number 1, but they just improved it more.
Okay, because like the concept of the multiplayer was like you have like the 4 person screen, but like the other screens are like mini maps essentially.
That might be 3.
Okay, so then I have 3.
Because player number 2, they couldn't do that. It was 4 different people on 4 different consoles. So you all have your
okay.
individual giant screen.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, ultimately, I'd say 7.5. You guys?
I'd give it an 8. I'd give it a solid 8, honestly.
Solid 8?
I think it has potential to be, like, really good, especially for, like, its own franchise, like a Chucky sort of franchise, almost.
But do you think it would really carry itself as a Chucky-length franchise? Or do you think Megan can handle herself maybe as solely a duo?
I think, like,
Maybe
a good duo, trio, maybe.
Trilogy would be really pushing it, but I would probably still try it.
I think that a trio would be really cool, especially if you want to go with the concept of like she's another machine, so you have to like update your malware or something like that, or like you have to basically fight fire with fire and then get into like the technology, like almost like speed hacking or something like that.
Then it become that one stupid movie. I don't remember what it was called. I watched it with my dad.
Smart House?
That
was a good movie.
It might be where it was like there's like the super AI the government made, and then it's like the AI is learning. And it's like it starts
Small Soldiers?
No, it's like 2012 or whatever, 2013.
Oh, 2001: A Space Odyssey?
No, 2013 is it?
That was back in the 50s or 60s. Sorry,
where the government made this.
2001: Space Odyssey.
2001: Space Odyssey was an 80s movie. Sorry,
Was it 80s? Oh,
Where the government made an AI so they can help them combat any foreign software malware, whatever, and it starts learning that like, oh, hey, all humans are bad. So then like the president's going to this whole the whole thing was like the president was going to this like this little concert of kids that are going to sing like the United States fucking national anthem, and then the whole point is that the AI is going to send a nuclear bomb there in a pet container or something stupid. It's not a good movie.
is it the one that has fucking? What's his fucking name? James Corbin, or
Might be because the biggest plot was like, oh, we're gonna go in the security room.
There we go.
We're gonna go in the security room where the AI can't hear us. We're gonna mute it because there's no cameras, no nothing. But there's one camera looking at them. It's not hearing them, but it looks at the vibrations of the water and it can detect what they're saying as the vibrations in the water. It's so stupid. It's not a good movie. That's why I think M3gan would be. If they ever went for a trilogy, it'd be that bad. Where
Okay,
it's
now you bring that up.
you're going way too far. Stop this stupid crap. This is dumb.
I would like.
Like, it makes sense, but it's like, its whole point of like, I need to kill everyone. I'm just gonna bomb the president first. It's like, why not bomb someone more important from a different country? That's when you're gonna get things really started.
I would really like a miniseries out of this. Like, if they did the movie and then maybe like a miniseries of like other instances of like the doll attacking or something like that, different attachments, different people. Maybe like the parent gets attached to the doll rather than the kid.
so you're telling me you want
Small Soldiers.
You're telling me that you wanted to copy Chucky yet again and have a show,
I mean, it'd be another fuck you.
but Universal runs the show. Universal also runs M3gan.
Fuck. Yeah.
So you're saying you want Small Soldiers Part 2?
At the very least, I want a sequel. I would like to see a sequel of this.
Small Soldiers
So would
2. I'm in.
All right, man.
I want Small Soldiers too, dude.
So, personally, I give this movie a 7 out of 10. My biggest reasons I don't like about it, I already talked about it pre-K before she went to bed.
Yeah.
It's my problem I have with nearly every fiction that does this, including the game I have on my phone, Nikkei, which is the anime booby game, whatever. The whole point, because I was wondering...
It's time crisis, dude. Get it right.
Because I was trying to figure out, like, why do they call them Nikkeis? It makes no sense. Well, they're androids. Best way I can describe it down. Do you remember how in Metal Gear Revengeance, how when Raiden goes to Mexico, he finds all the kids' brains in, like, all these tubes? It's literally just brains and eyes. It looks like Andros from Star Fox 64.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's basically that, but it's like 2% of the brain in a whole metal body.
Okay.
But the problem is, they were all real people before they got into a horrible accident and then got turned into a mechanical robot.
Okay.
Right?
Kind of like the Cybernetica initiative of like the ninjas from Mortal Kombat.
And my biggest problem with all these movies is like, they always do the same thing. M3gan, Nikkei, Nier Automata, any game where, even Metal Gear Revengeance, except everyone in Metal Gear Revengeance is Ryan's like, oh yeah, he's human. He's just got like 90% body parts of a robot, but he's still human.
Isn't that what like the senator was? Senator Armstrong?
He was nanomachines. He was just a normal person with nanomachines.
Oh, okay.
Which made him...
Is that why he's so fucking built?
Yeah, he was just jacked because he was already jacked.
Oh, he's just already jacked. Okay.
Yeah, nanomachines didn't help him. It helped him become more...
I haven't played that game. I'm sorry. I love the fucking cutscenes though.
It helped him become invincible because the nanomachines would detect when anything would be about to potentially harm him.
Okay.
So that's why his body turns black. Because it's turning hard to steel, because it's all the machine protecting him.
I thought he was just going into second gear
No.
from like One Piece.
No. That's the nanomachines. But nearly all these fictions, when there's a character like that where the 95% robot, 90% robot, doesn't matter, right? They always go, it's a machine. Of course it's a machine. Even though everything they do is the most human thing you can possibly think of.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it. Every single time. It's done that in every single fiction. It's like,
So you hate this movie because...
it's like Walking Dead. They're not zombies, they're walkers. Oh, shut up. Everything's done it. You can't tell me this is a universe where no one's made a single zombie thing.
So I've complained about that too. I complained about that to my dad, and he was like, well... They wouldn't want them to call generic zombies. They have their own thing. It's walkers. Just like, you can't tell me that no one noticed that these guys are fucking like exactly like the zombies from like
movies they used to watch or something.
Yeah, exactly. These movies have existed since the fucking like 30s. It's fucking ridiculous.
Like what? Oh, we couldn't call our franchise D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, so we called it Dwellers and Demolitionists. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that exists.
Probably wouldn't doubt it.
Dwellers and Demolitionists. I play that.
My biggest problem that comes back to all of this would be RoboCop's the first one that did this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second that Murphy gets killed, he gets turned into a robot. They all go, he's a robot! Obviously he's a robot, even though he's still got mostly the brain of Murphy and the face of Murphy. He's a robot!
He's got tiny flesh butts right here, but he's a robot! He's not a cyborg.
And the only one who recognizes him is his officer partner, where she remembers him. It's like, that's Murphy. He's the only one who does that stupid gun flip, like a stupid 80s cowboy. Or not even 80s cowboy, like a 20s cowboy. But regardless, he still becomes more human as time goes on because he's remembering more of his past. That's my biggest problem with this movie, is that everything acts like this fiction never exists. Even then, so I'm sure someone can probably point this out.
I'm pretty sure Terminator exists in this universe, at least like the movies.
Well, I'm pretty sure someone can point this out that, you know what did this probably beforehand? Frankenstein.
Yeah. I'd point this in the direction of a Frankenstein movie. This actually is a really good Frankenstein movie, honestly.
Frankenstein made a monster. The scientist made a monster. The monster's dumb, doesn't know what he's doing. But turns out, what happened over time? He's just as smart, or even smarter than the scientist that made him.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's the same thing that happens in all fiction. It's like, I kind of get tired of this whole thing where it's like, oh, this is the first time it's ever happened. No, it hasn't. It's happened over centuries and centuries of storytelling. It gets tiring for me at some point where it's like...
Hell, even the Avengers did it.
Yeah. Right? And it gets tiring to a point where it's like...
Vision was
like I don't mind a movie like this. At least acknowledge, like, oh... Maybe we should handle this just like slightly differently or slightly different. Instead, everyone's just going, as a toy, idiot, duh.
Fuck, Doe. Homer Simpson, Doe.
We're gonna run Hasbro out of money. $10,000 doll. Come on, chop chop.
Yeah, the $10,000 doll.
Yeah. What family is gonna buy this? Fucking a lot of rich people, I bet. Yeah.
The ones who can afford Teslas.
Yeah. Yeah, they literally said, like, is it less expensive than a Tesla?
More or less than a Tesla.
Depends on the model. So, that depends on the model. Does that imply that they have different versions of this doll? Like, was it size-wise? Is it quality-wise? Because, like, is the quality control gone?
Depends on the model of Tesla.
Oh, the model of Tesla, okay.
Japan's getting the high-priced ones.
Probably.
They're getting the nice dolls.
They're getting the real dolls.
They're getting the age-appropriate dolls.
Fuck.
They're age-appropriate. They're 15.
Fuck. Yeah. All right.
But yeah, that's my biggest problem with this movie, is that all these movies always act like no fiction's ever existed that's ever done this concept.
But I do like the point that you brought up about the Frankenstein aspect, because I never put that together during the movie. But if you look at it, it's pretty much a Frankenstein movie in a way.
The only one I can compare this to is like RoboCop's the first movie that's ever done this, where it's like it's a man that was like 95% machine, and then he's still learning. Even though RoboCop never had like super AI learning, it was still his normal brain that was somehow trying to be compatible and start functioning like it used to be when he at least was still alive and had a family.
But this one has like a different aspect where she was never a human to begin with. But are you saying like the complex learning basically puts her on par with a human?
Well, that's why I was bringing up the Frankenstein thing, right?
Oh, okay.
Because Frankenstein is just this mixed mash of amalgamations of every body part. everything possible. It's implied it's kind of like Reanimator 2.
Yeah, but I mean, Reanimator 2 is basically like, or Reanimator 2, Reanimator 1 are basically offshoots of Frankenstein in a way.
Yeah. Mostly Reanimator 2, especially when it's literally just making like Frankenstein's bride.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
Yep. But regardless, it's just one of the few nitpicks I have with these kinds of things. It's not bad always trying to go back to this type of style of movie. It just gets tiring when everyone wants to be like, this never existed. Of course this never existed. We don't have reference to it. But also, you don't want...
the assistants should, like, have you guys never watched Terminator? You know why this is a bad idea? And then they're just like, nah, it's fine. And he's just like, he's the only guy that's like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Just you didn't put this in there? Why didn't you do that? It's just like, it'll figure it out. Right. He's like, Skynet is the reason we don't do this.
But see, and also in that sense...
You ever watched Jurassic Park?
But also in that sense, you don't want to overplay it too much. Something like Velma was like, well, I'm glad it's not this type of situation, because in this situation, and then like 10 minutes like, well, I'm also glad it's not this type of situation, because then it'd be this situation, you know? Or,
that's the case of oversharing.
How come these types of movies never do this type of thing, or this type of movie always does this type of thing? It's like you don't. It's a fine line of always doing it, but you don't have to make it so to the point. That's kind of like what I was saying with Smile, where like it beats you over the head, and they're like, "Yes, I get it. Mental illness. You don't have to keep beating me over the hammer with it."
Right, but that comment about Velma, just like that, Velma is a show basically that has the problem of oversharing a point to a point where it doesn't have a point.
Yeah.
The one that we're trying to get at is just like it acknowledges that it's there, but people still put it off because like, oh, it's a movie or something like that. It's fiction; it can never happen. When realistically, it very well could happen because a lot of it's based in some aspects of reality. Like what was it? Blade Runner is based off of a book called "I Dream of Electric Sheep," and it plays a lot of the tropes of AI gaining human intelligence and what it means to be human in general, even to a point where Harrison Ford sometime in the movie thinks that he's like one of these recreations of people, basically they're offshoot of androids and stuff.
Yeah.
And he goes crazy for a little bit, but then he realizes he's human and it's all good. But like, I think that's really interesting, and I like if they would play with that. Like maybe one of these androids gets loose or something, they end up like getting glitchy and they think they're human at one point, to a point where they basically indoctrinate themselves into another family, and they take her in, not knowing that she's got these protocols and everything, and then she basically imprints on the kid, and then it's basically like a protective sister over like maybe a small boy this time or something like that.
Yeah. And see, I think that's where I also do like this movie, where it also did something different, where it was mimicking the voices nearly perfectly.
That was really spooky,
but not to a T. Because every time
you had that android whine to it.
Well, also every time, even on the phone, every time she talked to someone, she always said something that was like one word off or like 2 words off, and was like, "You're the boss." Yeah, exactly. And it had to stop for half a second, like,
"Oh, okay."
Like when she was on the phone with her assistant.
Exactly. And it's like, I think that's a good concept, even with the dog, and it's like, even though it's like very basic words or whatever, right? Like you
can hear one of the recordings was like in a house or something like that.
Well, it's like,
"Here, boy."
Well, it sounded super mechanical, but during those last times, like the last like
shit, I called my dog actually.
Well, it was like during the last 2 times when she was calling Dewey, it sounded more like the actual owner's voice, where it was like it started getting more convincing. It's like, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. And I do like that concept where like it got a little bit more in depth, where it's like, yeah, why wouldn't it also try to perfect a voice it just heard off the street, like, for 10 seconds?
And that's what I would like with a sequel with this movie, expand upon that. Like, I mean, sequels, if you want to make a good sequel, expands upon the lore of the first movie in a significant way that doesn't exactly copy the last one. So if, like, they did have, like, maybe the AI went rogue in a different way, like, it actually thinks it's human at some point.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, this one, it does say that Megan does know that she's an AI. But she's just a super protective AI. Essentially, like, believing to an extent that she is this girl's protector, essentially.
Well, also to the point where she actually thinks that she's more than just AI.
Yeah, she can basically make herself into a human or something like that. Maybe Megan gets into this extra, like, robot's body or something like that.
Well, she also stole a Lamborghini.
She did. She did.
On the fly.
Yeah, on the fly. And she knows how to drive. She downloaded the DMV database.
Well, she was able to unlock the car from outside, and that car's not hooked up to the cloud, so she's mechanically...
Or it was like, the key fob or something like that, like that signal, she radiates that.
Yeah, so she's
It
becoming
would be
adaptive.
impossible, especially when she can literally read like 5 different emotions at once on one person.
Yep.
Easily.
I mean, think of like my car outside. It's like a heat touch essentially. That would be really easy if you generated a certain signal and then just had the heat touch or something like that. She probably has heating hands. I wouldn't doubt it.
Probably.
Maybe.
To generate like the human touch essentially.
I mean, she's titanium.
I mean, it wouldn't be impossible when
Nothing to lose.
it wouldn't be impossible when the only thing that was off about her was just her skin was slippery, just because it's silicone.
Yeah, they even imply that like when they're doing the thumb wars, it's like your skin's so slippery or your thumb's so slippery.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's like the weirdest thing about her. But other than that, you'd have to assume because if she was cold, it'd be really hard to do a thumb war with her. It's like my hand's freezing now. Stop.
He's like, I can't.
I'm getting black fingers. Stop.
I'm gonna lose my thumb.
Okay, so we're all in agreement. 7, 7.5, 8. We're in the high acceptability.
Oh, yeah.
Is this something that you would picture solely as go see it in the theater, stream it, or own it?
I'd say streaming just because of our experience in the fucking theater, because it's so popular right now that all the little shitheads are fucking wheeling out to go see a popular movie and then not watch the movie and just make everyone else's day fucking shit. So I would want to stream it, but like stream it with people that you want to watch a movie with. Essentially, give them the theater experience. Like sit down, shut the lights off, make sure everyone's like good and comfortable, watch the movie. And then just absorb it. Essentially, don't watch this with a screen raising parent because they'll probably get mad.
Fair. And what would you say?
I will say stream it and do not pirate it, please. Mostly because
Megan will be after your balls.
well, mostly personally for me, I can't see me owning this on my shelf. This isn't a movie I would want to watch probably again for a very long time.
That's fair, yeah. And Pretty Kitty made that
Yeah,
argument too. It's like I watched it, I probably won't watch it again, but
Not because it's a bad film. It's just not.
it seems like a one and done thing.
Yeah, it's not like exactly like a film I can see myself revisiting a whole lot for
Yeah.
like a certain like a lot of unique plot points or anything.
I liked the movie. I thought it was
Yeah.
genuinely good for what it was, but yeah.
Not because it's a bad movie. It's just something that doesn't stand out like super unique. Where it's like, oh, I want to watch this again. Yes, immediately or anything like
Right,
that.
which is where I think they could do well with the sequel. If it was like, if they did anything interesting with that.
As long as they don't make like that movie I was talking about.
Oh,
I wish I could know that movie's name. That movie's bad.
Yeah, if you remember, like, show me it. I would be interested to watch that. Or not watch the movie, but like see what it is.
Oh, I just remember it's the Philadelphia Experiment.
Oh, Jesus. I want to watch that.
At least I can
I want
describe
to see how wild that story gets, because you just keep on telling us about it. I want to see the
At
logical
least that
lore.
movie I can remember picture for picture because how stupid it is.
Alright, I would probably definitely still say find a way to see it in the theater, but find a way to where you can see it to where you know you're not going to be bothered.
Right. If you really want to, like, and if your theater offers it, do you think this would be worth, like, saving a theater for?
Do I? If you're going through the AMC route, because right now they're doing private theater rentals for $150, but it's an early day thing.
Yeah.
Do it because it can hold up to 20 people, and of those, if those 20 people each give you $10, that's 200. You're up $50, and you can cover your concessions, and you're easy.
That's usually what we do for a lot of the movies that we really want to see, that we don't want to get interrupted, especially like Mortal Kombat. What was it? The Scream movie? Did we do that?
We did it for Mortal Kombat. I did it for you did it for Scream.
Yeah,
I think
I
it was
did it
Halloween.
for Halloween
Halloween
Kills.
Yes.
I did it for Jurassic World.
Which is the one that confused me because I thought Halloween Kills was the first Halloween. in the whole
We still need to show you the
trilogy.
2018 one, because it's actually pretty good.
Was it the 2018 one? The miles better than anything. That
Oh, yeah. It feels like a Halloween movie.
But yeah, ultimately, I would still say give it a theater run, just because it also benefits the movie. And if we want a sequel, that's how you do it.
Oh, yeah.
And would I own it? Maybe,
Maybe
but it's
shits and
not
giggles.
something I would buy immediately when it gets dropped. I would wait maybe a month for the price to go down.
Would you get the Blu-ray?
Would I get a Blu-ray? Absolutely.
Like, see all the background production and everything? I think that'd be really cool.
'Cause, I mean, you can still get that on DVD, but I like having Blu-ray. I like having a better picture.
Blu-rays are nice.
True.
So yeah. With that being said, Megan, clear winner.
All right.
Pretty poggers.
I'm gonna take a piss now.
I'm gonna take a piss now. And on that note, his teeth are floating. We're sinking. Keep popping.
All right. Have a good night, you guys.